Avengers Infinity War pit the Avengers against the galactic mad titan Thanos, and I thought it'd be a fun discussion to talk about a hypothetical crossover battle. What if Thanos battled Goku from Dragon Ball Super? Who would reign supreme? We talk about this next. This awesome Goku vs Thanos image was drawn by the great Smartimus Prime, and if you want your own print of this to put on your wall or in your house somewhere, you can check out his Twitter, which I'll link down below, and he's also taking commissions for custom art too, so hit him up. He's incredible. He's done so many thumbnails for me lately. Check him out. Let's get to the discussion now. I usually don't do hypothetical crossover battles, but I grew up a huge fan of not just Dragon Ball, but also Marvel, and I love the Infinity Gauntlet storyline. And now we're seeing it on the big screen at last, and I thought it'd be fun to kind of come together and discuss a hypothetical what-if crossover battle between Thanos and Goku from Dragon Ball Super. Now, I want to clarify before we get into this topic that we're going to be using Thanos from the comic more so than the film, because the MCU tends to depower characters like Hulk, Thor, and Thanos. They are powerful, but their comic book counterparts seem to have much more impressive feats. When it comes to Goku, we're talking about Dragon Ball Super Goku, not Dragon Ball Z or GT Goku, because Super Goku is the strongest version of Goku. Joining me to discuss this battle, he is a fellow hardcore fan of both Dragon Ball and Thanos. Please welcome Chuck to the channel once more. How are you?
Hey man, so I'm pretty hyped to do this. It's actually going to be really exciting to see all the comments, see what people say, if they're going to be like upset or they're going to be like, oh yeah, I agree with this, but basically we're going to make it as simple as possible to understand, because there's a lot of things to go over, and it definitely does get complicated because Marvel is really complex. More so than Dragon Ball, I would say.
Yeah, let's try to keep the discussion as civil as possible. Before anybody says anything, I love Dragon Ball and I love Thanos, and Chuck does too. We're not going to be wanking off a certain universe here. We're fans of both. So this is going to be as fair as possible, examining the feats of the different versions of Thanos versus Goku. And I want to start first and foremost by discussing classic Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet. That's the first discussion I want to have. Now, again, we're focusing on Dragon Ball Super Goku because all the ones before it are kind of irrelevant. Super Saiyan God Goku, we have to clarify this for everybody. During his battle with Beerus at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super, was cracking the universe and put the existence of the universe at risk at the beginning of the series. And as a result of that, how do you think he would measure up against classic Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet?
Other than that, we haven't really seen that feat anymore. People think, oh, it's an outlier, it's a hyperbole.
I did an entire video with Seth the Programmer discussing the suppression in Dragon Ball, and that pretty much explains that these characters have a astronomical level of control over their power, which is why when Goku sneezes, we don't see the Earth blow up. But that being said, you cannot deny, based on the Beerus fight, that Goku as a Super Saiyan God at the beginning of Super was what, Universe Plus?
Yeah, definitely, because he was going to be able to destroy the entire macrocosm, and it was stated that they were going to turn into a world of void, of nothingness, because they were going to destroy the time and space within it as well.
So how would that measure up against Thanos without the Infinity Gauntlet?
Goku would definitely one-shot him, because Thanos, in the classic run, he would always struggle against people like Odin or Galactus or Celestials, and he would definitely need the Infinity Gauntlet to actually tussle with those guys. But, if we're going with Thanos, at his absolute strongest in his classic run, he would be in those galaxy ranges at least. But, galaxy to universal is definitely a huge gap. Thanos does have really strong abilities. He can manipulate minds. He has matter manipulation. He also has some knowledge in the mystic arts. He has energy projection.
Really, hyper intelligent too.
Yeah, he's really intelligent as well. He has a lot of tech. But if we're going with just speed alone and durability and attack potency, then Goku would definitely be able to defeat him. Now, you could argue that Thanos' hacks could work on him, but the thing is, in Dragon Ball, if we are going with that in-universe explanation, the majority of abilities that are in Dragon Ball, if you are much more powerful than that person, then you can counter it. For example, even in Dragon Ball Z, Chaozu couldn't use telekinesis against Nappa because he said, oh, like, he's too powerful, like, I can't do anything to him. Or Hit's time stop couldn't work on Goku as he got more powerful. And same reason why Jiren was able to just completely nullify Hit's, like, time cage.
Time cage. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, that brings us to the next obvious question is, with the Infinity Gauntlet, if you haven't read the original story, Thanos was able to wipe out half the universe. Is Super Saiyan God Goku, or even Blue or whatever, is he toast against Gauntlet Thanos?
Definitely.
Okay, so Thanos with the Gauntlet beats God Goku. Now, Thanos has precognition abilities. Is his precognition strong enough to stop Goku from using his instant transmission, the teleportation technique, to teleport in and take away the gauntlet? How do you think Thanos would react to that, or do you think Goku's speed would be enough to take it away?
Well, for example, Silver Surfer is like one of the fastest beings in Marvel. I mean, he's able to cross like through half the universe in like barely no time at all. He's able to get out of galaxies and like near instantly, and he was charging at Thanos to try to get the gauntlet away from him, and he was unable to. Thanos basically has like precognition on a scale that is like nigh omniscient in that verse, because he knew what people would try to do against him. And I mean, even the abstracts like Eternity, Infinity, they weren't able to do anything against him.
And with the gauntlet, that amplifies that ability.
Definitely.
So, yeah. Don't forget that also Caulifla was able to predict his movements, Goku's movements, in the Tournament of Power arc, which is later on. Now, we're going to go ahead and get to that right now. Let's talk about the real battle of the tippy top here, okay? Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. It was stated in the magazine promotional material, this is Goku's most powerful form ever. Goku looked incredibly impressive against Jiren. Against classic Thanos, he would probably win. But let's talk about future Thanos, otherwise known as King Thanos. And you told me before we started recording that future King Thanos without the gauntlet may actually be stronger than classic Thanos with the gauntlet. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is definitely a possibility. So before we actually get into that, basically how the scaling works is that there's beings like Odin and like a well-fed Galactus. Their battles, they've actually like caused like universal levels of destruction. It was stated that they could possibly destroy all of it, and they could also affect several realms, kind of like in Dragon Ball, how like the afterlife and heaven and stuff like that were going to be destroyed. These guys are clearly way above universal, and Beerus would be around those levels if you want to compare him to that. And then the Celestials are above that power, making them like multi-universal, meaning they can destroy several universes casually. Low multiversal is where you get to like beings that can destroy like over 1,000 universes, and then you keep going. There's a lot of ridiculously powerful beings in Marvel that are way beyond that. With the Infinity Gauntlet, I mean, Thanos was able to defeat several like low multiversal level beings at absolute minimum, and many of them are like 16-dimensional, like Eternity and Infinity, just like one of their avatars. Yeah.
These beings, for those of you who don't follow Marvel, are essentially crucial to the existence of the multiverse. Infinity, Death, the in-betweener, they actually are constructs of matter. It's very complex the way they wrote this. Dragon Ball is much simpler, you know what I mean? Much, much simpler.
Just that Thanos was able to like defeat all of them casually. But the Living Tribunal, just one of his bodies or one of his avatars, you can kind of think of it like, you see a Zeno, is in one universe or one timeline. There's another Zeno in the future timeline, right? But in the case of these abstracts, there's like one of these avatars for every single timeline or reality in the Marvel universe, and there's like implied to be like an infinite amount. So just the fact that Thanos was able to defeat many of these avatars really casually can tell you that, hey, he's definitely nothing to be fucked with. It is very possible that all those abstracts combined would be more powerful than Zeno himself. And I mean, there's definitely no way that we can see Goku, defeat Zeno, now can we?
No, because, the biggest feat we've seen from Zeno is that he was able to destroy a multiverse in the Future Trunks timeline. There's been some debate about it, but it was confirmed that he did indeed destroy
the world,
the 12 universes, in the future. That is incredibly impressive. And the Infinity Gauntlet should hypothetically be able to do something similar, but future Thanos, This is like a different level beyond anything. And that's kind of where I'm kind of stuck here, in the sense of, even though Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku looked very impressive in Dragon Ball Super, I don't believe that he could stop Zeno from using his Universe Wiper. And as a result of that, I don't think he can beat Zeno. That being said, tell us about how powerful King Thanos from the future actually is.
There's a really strange part about Marvel Comics, is that they like to retcon, they like to, rewrite the characters and also kind of like reestablish the power of the characters. So they might get stronger, they might get weaker per run. But in this case, what happened is that Thanos in this future was stated to, become a lot more powerful. It was even stated, even before the future even came to be, that he would essentially become as powerful as the Abstracts and not surpass them entirely. So what he did is that throughout like thousands of years, millions of years, he was strong enough to defeat Old King Thor. He was able to defeat Galactus. He literally decapitated him.
He literally decapitated Galactus, max power, wiped him out.
Yeah, and Galactus would be like on par with like Beerus very easily. And
even more so, because Galactus existed. For those who don't know, Galactus existed in the universe prior to the existence of the universe and the Big Bang. He's a being that existed even before the current Marvel universe. And future Thanos just wiped him out like nothing.
Yeah, and there's also the Celestials, which are more powerful than the standard Galactus. There's like an entire race of them. He killed Eternity, Infinity, and the Living Tribunal M-Body, or like one of his avatars. A good thing to remember is that during the classic Infinity Gauntlet run, the Living Tribunal was able to casually just shut down the powers of the Infinity Gauntlet, and King Thanos still killed that Living Tribunal. In any of those comic panels, it is never stated that he had to use the Infinity Gauntlet. And even before that, he already had enough power to, counteract powers that could kill the Celestials and Galactus. This actually happened during, Infinity Finale, which came out several years before the Thanos wins or King Thanos run. So Thanos even back then would already be, on par with, Beerus tier, Super Saiyan Blue Goku level characters, very casually, if not far beyond that. King Thanos is even more powerful than the classic Infinity Gauntlet Thanos.
Which, in other words, that's code for Goku stands no chance. Even at Mastered Ultra Instinct, he has no chance. And that is pretty insane to think about. When we take King Thanos out of the equation, and we talk about just classic Thanos, it comes down to how strong he is with the premonition abilities. With the Gauntlet, he can actually manipulate matter and time-space. Goku's never been able to do that. He's been able to, the closest I can come to that is surpassing Jiren, who surpassed Hit's time cage. But, maybe if it was Thanos without the Gauntlet, but with the Gauntlet, or even King Thanos, there's just no chance. There's just, no matter how strong Goku is, there's just no chance. And for those who don't know, the Living Tribunal is one of the top tier, if not the top tier god in Marvel, underneath the one above all. Now, if that's been retconned, I didn't know about it, but that's the way it is, that he is the embodiment of the Marvel Universe, and King Thanos beat him. Zeno would be like chewing bubblegum.
What if we highballed, we were generous to Goku, we try to say, okay, he's universal in his base form, right? You stack all the Zenkais, you stack all the training boosts, you stack all the Super Saiyan multipliers, and, it could be very possible as well that Goku at the end of the tournament is more powerful than Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. Don't add me. But it is very possible that he's...
That's a different debate right there.
Yeah, but, then he could have easily multiversal levels of attack, potency, and durability, and that could give him an edge over Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. But on top of that, there's also the chance that Thanos can lose willingly, because that is actually the reason why he lost in the Infinity Gauntlet story, because Adam Warlock actually revealed to him that he lost because he himself wanted himself to lose. So he didn't really want victory.
He essentially gave up on himself.
Yeah.
If he fights Goku and he gives up on himself, then he loses. But does that really count? Is that the only way? I guess that's it, right?
Highballing, then maybe he could. But other than that, King Thanos would one-shot him, and dare I say the whole Dragon universe. But yeah, definitely it would be a pretty interesting battle, at least, if we want to put them near equal statuses. And yeah, definitely.
Let us know in the comments, do you think we missed something? Was there an obscure Marvel storyline that we did not bring up? I'm sure there's probably one out there, because there's so many years of Marvel history. And what do you think? Do you think that Master Ultra Instinct Goku has any kind of chance against Thanos? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to check out Chuck the Cybercuck's channel. I will leave a link down below. We'll catch you down the road.